Dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, wow. Welcome back to the Wizard's Forge. Today we are taking a look at Save or Suck by Trikeros and a couple other creators. Um, uh, it's an interesting book, definitely. I have not quite looking all the way through it yet, but let's, without further ado, go ahead and take a look. So first things first, we have to start off with some awesome art on the cover. Y'all know I'm a sucker for the art in these things. Sorry about the noise there, trying to situate everything. There we go. My guess is that's a dragon having some sort of effect, because otherwise why would a dragon be a sheep? Reimagining Save or Suck spells in 5e. Alright. Let's dig a little deeper. Yep, that's fine. Magic and spells are at the center of D&D, invoking unforgettable fantasy. All too often, these amazing moments become terribly unsatisfying when a creature succeeds on a saving throw. Other than spells that mainly do damage, most spells in 5th edition do absolutely nothing when a creature succeeds on its save, leaving the player feeling that both a precious in-game resource and real-life time were utterly wasted. In discussions of 5th edition rule set, this is often referred to as Save or Suck. This book introduces a new mechanic to help remedy this situation called a close save. Alright, let's continue on. Sounds pretty cool so far. Close saves. The 5th edition. Okay. The 5th edition rule set, as written, is a mostly binary system when it comes to success or failure on saving throws. Succeed, and there are few or no consequences, or fail and suffer grave consequences. A few mechanics take this one step further, such as the Drow's hand crossbow action. This action states hit, plus 5, 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage, and the target must succeed a DC 13 Constitution saving throw, or be poisoned for 1 hour. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the target is also unconscious while poisoned in this way. Here there are 2 fail states. Fail slightly and suffer a slight consequence, or fail significantly and suffer a worse consequences. That is something that, while reading up about Pathfinder, I have noticed that Pathfinder has done a lot better than 5th edition, in my opinion. And that is the multiple fail states, I guess, you know? And also the range, too, right? Like in Pathfinder, you crit on anything 5 higher, or is it 10 higher, than the armor class of the creature, and there's a couple other things that I think would help speed up D&D if they were to incorporate it like that. But, yeah, I do agree with this. We carry this a step further by breaking a successful save into 2 states. The close save and the full save. Alright, I like that. Only if the roll exceeds the DC by 5 or more does the target achieve a full save against the spell's effects and negate or mitigate the spell to the maximum possible. The close save we introduce here produces a result that is better than failure but short of a complete success, and occurs when a creature rolls a saving throw that is less than 5 over the minimum needed. Hold on, hair in my face. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. I forgot to put my hair up in a ponytail. Alright, there we go. In other words, a close save still counts as a successful save, but at best, it's a qualified success. In summary, if a spell has a DC of 10, a saving throw of 9 or lower is a failed save. The target suffers the expected effects of a spell as normal. A saving throw of 10 to 14 is a close save. The target suffers the close save effects of the spell. A saving throw of 15 or greater is a full save. The target suffers the effects of a full save, if any. Okay, I like that. I definitely like that. That definitely seems like it could be a lot more player-friendly in D&D, as well as DM-friendly, because it means you're not as much of an a-hole for using Legendary Resistance, which I like something else, which is going to be in the next video I'm going to do, which is Flee Mortals, and I think a couple other creators have kind of done it too, but Flee Mortals by MCDM, they've done something with legendary resistance as well, and I'm probably going to cover that in the next video, which I'm going to record shortly after this one and probably release the same day if I can. If not, then it will come out next week on Wednesday. I'm going to try starting a schedule where every Wednesday I upload a video at bare minimum, because I've got to get on the ball with that. Alright. Creating your own effects. You can add your own close save effects to homebrew spells in your game, or modify the ones presented in this document to fit the needs of your table. These close save effects were written with the following criteria. The close save effects follows the theme of the original spell effect. The close save is not a very powerful effect. The close save provides some satisfaction of having accomplished something. The close save should never be a more ideal outcome for the caster than a failed save. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. You don't want the close save being more powerful than if they had fully succeeded. Obviously, that eliminates the purpose at that point. Accounting for power creep. The close save system is intended to address the satisfaction of playing a spellcaster using spells that normally have a save or suck outcome. Using these mechanics essentially ensures that a spellcaster accomplishes something on their turn 25% more of the time, which is intended to make using those spells more satisfying and fun. However, while the close save effects are not very powerful, this system is an exclusive buff to spellcasters. Expanding the idea of close saves, or perhaps near misses, to martial characters is beyond the scope of this supplement. You may decide to incorporate close save mechanics only on certain spells, or offer access to close save effects as a result of feats, variant class features, or other rules as described below. Alternatively, you may wish to give buffs to the non-casters at your table, such as magical items or feats, so that they feel as capable as the spellcasters. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to power up the spellcasters by something like this, you're definitely going to want to either balance them out with a nerf, or give marshals a buff as well. Like, the 5e weapon system. Or not 5e weapon system, but the... what are that? The 1 D&D weapon system. Or, if you play Baldur's Gate 3, maybe you try to get each of those weapons and take their effects and put them on the weapon versions of 5e. I think that could be pretty cool, especially like the cleave and stuff, but who knows? Maybe that's a video I'll do another day, because I do love me some Baldur's Gate 3. As a matter of fact, I think I might start a playthrough of that for the channel. Yeah. Alright. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I definitely want to start one. Alright. Optional rules, I'm going to ignore those and whatnot. I am going to read the legendary resistance one, though. Many powerful creatures have the legendary resistance trait, which allows them to choose to succeed on saving throws a specified number of times, for reasons addressed above. This trait can be unfun in many circumstances, wasting a player's action with a decision by the DM. The close save effects presented in the reliable spells list variant below can be used to lessen the extreme effects of legendary resistance. When a creature fails a saving throw, it can use its legendary resistance instead to suffer the effects of the spell as if it had made a close save. Optionally, if a creature makes a close save, it can use legendary resistance to succeed completely. That is a little bit of a balancing act, but, and we'll get to it in Flea Mortals, like I said, because I'm definitely going to look at the way Flea Mortals has done legendary resistances. But I like what they've done. But I'm going to cover that in the next video. So let's look at, 3 of these spells, shall we? Blindness, Deafness. Pretty classic spell. Not too powerful, 2nd level, so you have it at level 3, which by that point, not pretty much, but everybody has their subclass. So, Blindness, Deafness. 1 action, duration of 1 minute. You can blind or deafen a foe. Choose 1 creature that you can see within range to make a Constitution saving throw. If it fails, the target is either blinded or deafened, your choice for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make a Constitution saving throw. On a success, the spell ends. On a close save, the target is blinded or deafened, your choice, until the start of its next turn. So you get 1 guaranteed turn with that. I do like that a lot. It reminds me a lot of how some effects in D&D say, until their end of their next turn. So you get one turn with that thing guaranteed, and I think that's genius. I love the idea of that. Very, very well balanced. Very well thought out, too, I think. In my humble opinion, at least. Although I'm pretty sure that they forgot to mention that the spell of blindness, deafness is concentration. Because they just put 1 minute there. No, it is not concentration. Really? Shocking. Okay, that spell's a lot better than I thought it is. Yikes. Alright, let's go down some more. Hold Person, another classic spell. Action. 1 action. Duration is concentration of up to a minute. Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target is paralyzed for the duration. On a close save, the target's movement speed becomes 0. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw, ending the spell on itself on a success. So, I like that the speed becomes 0 on a close save, because it means if they're a ranged character, they can still go ahead and attack. So it makes me as the DM a little less feel bad about, like, okay, I'm going to hold person you. You got the close save, so you can still go ahead and attack. I think implementing this as just like a house rule for your game could make the game a lot more fun, because it makes some of those spells that are like horrible and don't feel fun if you fail with them, right? It makes them feel more fun. Because mind you, this isn't just the players that, or you as the DM or whatever gets this. No, it's for everybody. So let's say, for example, there's a party of 3 people, a barbarian, a wizard, and a cleric, right? Okay. The barbarian's up front with the big bad, right? And the cleric and the wizard are in the back, or maybe the cleric's in the front because it's a war domain, or the wizard. You know what I mean? You can mix and match. That's not important. What's important is the party composition here. And the big bad goes ahead and casts Hold Person on the barbarian, right? Okay, well, the barbarian has some javelins or some other thrown, maybe some hand axes or whatever. They get the close save. So they have a movement of 0. They can't get further up, but they can still do stuff. They can still attack with some of the thrown items. They can still go ahead and drink a potion if they're a little bit damaged. Like, they're not wasting their turn completely, and I think that's the important part here, is you don't want wasted turns, because you know what I mean, like in a game where you're only running for 2 people, maybe it doesn't take as long, but in a game where you're running, let's say, like 5 or 6 people, it can take a while to get to that person's turn again. So if they've got held or stunned or whatever the case is where they can't do anything for their turn, it's a feel bad, and that's not cool, and it is kind of bad game design in my opinion, but at the same time it is called control for a reason. That being said, I do indeed like this close save system so far. One more spell, one more. I want a more powerful spell. Let's go down to something really, really powerful. Maybe 7th or 8th level. Let's look at that. Screw it. Let's look at Let's go ahead and look at Feeble Mind. That's a pretty brutal thing, especially if you cast it on a wizard. So Feeble Mind's next. Here we go. 1 action. Duration instantaneous. You blast of a mind. Oh god, jeez Louise. You blast the mind of a creature that you can see within range, attempting to shatter its intellect and personality. The target takes 4d6 psychic damage and must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the creature's intelligence and charisma scores become 1. The creature can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however, identify its friends, follow them, and even protect them. At the end of every 30 days, the creature can repeat its saving throw against this spell. On any successful saving throw, the spell ends. On a close save, the target is still affected by the spell, but regains 1d4 intelligence and charisma at the start of each of its turns. Once it regains all of its intelligence and charisma, the spell ends. The spell can also be ended by Greater Restoration, Heal, or Wish. I like that. I like that a lot. Because it does mean that you're gonna... It takes a while to build back, you know? But it's not like you're permanently useless for an entire month of game. Let's say if it gets cast on the wizard and they fail, or something like that. Now, mind you, it is a close save, you know? So there is still the possibility that it does go off. But it is less likely. Because the way this works is it ups the DC for a full save. So if the DC is 10... and you get a 13, you get this little effect here. If the DC is a 15, then you'd have to get a... What would it be? Like 21? Because I think it's 5 or... I gotta scroll back up to the top. Hold on. I think it said like 5 or more. So I think it would be a 20 you would need for the full save, right? 20 or higher, maybe? 5 over the minimum. Yeah. So a close save is 5 over the minimum. So that means you would need to be able to get, if your DC is 15, in order to get the full save, you would need to get a 20. Which, mind you, when you add your bonuses and stuff like that, not impossible. But it still makes it a little bit more of a challenge to meet the full save. And it makes the close save more likely. So think about this. At early levels of play, like let's say level 3 or whatever, right? So that way you have second level spells. We're going back to the blindness, deafness example here. If you cast as a DM blindness on your wizard or whatever else, right? And they succeed the save, and the spell save DC is like 13, and they get like a 14. They still are blinded or deafened, your choice, for 1 turn. So I think that's a very good balancing act, because it does mean that they still suffer something. And the same with the players, right? Let's say the players go ahead and cast blindness, deafness on NPC. And the NPC succeeds by 1 more than needed. Well, they still suffer that penalty for 1 turn. So it's not as bad of a feel bad. Now, obviously, the feel bad can still happen if you roll really high and you get the full save or whatever, but I think that's a very good system that Trikeros and the couple other people that worked on this have come up with. I'm going to show you how much this costs in a minute here. I just want to scroll through some more of the art. I love the throwing the rock classic. Ooh, that looks pretty dang cool. Ooh, nice. Yeah. So you get the system. You get what it does. They have some feats and stuff and whatnot. It is definitely a well balanced system. And here it is on the Dungeon Masters Guild. It cost $4.95 for the PDF. It does not have a physical version right now, because the way Dungeon Masters Guild work, you have to sell enough copies to be able to be available for a physical edition. But I definitely think it is worth your money, whether you're a Dungeon Master or a player. As a player, feel free to get this and like introduce it to your DM and be like, hey, take a look at this. I think it might make the game a little bit more fun for everybody. At least that's my opinion on it. I definitely don't regret the purchase. I love a lot of what Trikeros does. I don't know exactly who the other two are. I haven't exactly heard of them, but like Trikeros, I found him through his YouTube channel and the video that he did on this, and it is a very well done system. I don't know what parts of what each person worked on, but definitely take a look at it. I definitely think it's worth a buy. With that being said, thank you for joining me at the Wizard's Forge. We will see you next time. Ba-da-bum-bum-dum, ba-da-bum-bum-bum, da-dun-dun-dun. Da-dun-dun-dun. What? Da-dun-dun-dun.